Hi everybody, it's Daniel with funukuleleprojects, and I have two neat ukuleles I want to share with you. And this is probably about the 10th time I tried to do this video. There's so much information I need to share to do this right, and so we'll see if I can get through it this time. Anyway, these ukuleles, as you can see they're ukuleles with very detailed inlay, and they're made by Antonio Tsai Workshops. I'm going to move this one around here, try to get the light hitting at different angles. The fox's eyes will glow in certain light, and so I'm going to see if I can pick that up there. And then this one here, the spider really pops in different light, and the flower another light, the Hawaiian Islands. These are made, as I said, by Antonio Tsai Workshops, and I got them off of eBay. And so Antonio Tsai Workshops goes by inlay artist on eBay, or you can just type in Antonio Tsai Ukulele, and you'll see the different ukuleles they have at any given time. I've known of the company for several years, and then these two designs appeared, and I decided I just had to take a chance on them. The reason I say take a chance on them is because in the early 2000s, they got a reputation for guitars that would tend to crack, and sometimes the necks would twist. So they'd be pretty instruments that sounded nice, but then they could have issues. Well, when these arrived, I've had them. They look nice. They look just like the photos, and I've had them for over 6 months now. They've been very stable, so that's good news. Bad news for me, fortunate for me is I work on ukuleles, as you all know. So the bad news, when they arrived, this one was not playable at all. Not at all. This one was barely playable. This particular instrument, the nut was installed backwards. The saddle was too fat for the nut slot. So it was so fat that I was surprised it even just balanced there, and you can tighten the strings, because you could actually see underneath the saddle. It made like, literally was like a little tunnel, and you could look at people through it. And so I had to fix that. And then, in addition to that, the frets were extremely uneven, and so this just had multiple problems. I had to completely level, reprofile, and polish the frets. Mine, the nut, the nut, the slots were not really filed at all. They were just like lines, guidelines, but no one had ever actually filed them. And then the original saddle itself also had issues. I think mine was actually quite low, and so I had to make a new saddle for it. And a couple of the frets were pretty uneven, which caused buzzing at certain frets, so I had to fix that. And so if I was buying these hoping and expecting to get really nice playing instruments when they showed up, I would have been sorely disappointed. I actually got them thinking that, I really liked the inlay, and I was hoping that if there were any problems with them, that I could take care of it, and I was able to. And so I did email the company, and I said, if it were not for the fact that I work on instruments, I would have contacted you and said, both of these are defective, I want my money back, I want to return them. And I explained to them in detail all the different problems, and they were very gracious about that, and they also thanked me for taking the time to fix them. And that being said, if you ask me if I would recommend them, I'd say if you are capable of doing setup, or if you know someone are willing to spend some money to have them set up, if you get something that's like one of the ones we got, then, if you find one with a design you really like, then they have potential of sounding very nice. The inlay, I want to say real quickly, one of the reasons is like this fox can be the price that it is that the inlay is done artistically, and it's also done to be cost effective. And what I mean by that is, like, for instance, look at the pathway. This pathway actually is made up of a lot of cuts that you cut in, then you back out. You cut in, you back out. You cut in, you back out. So this pathway is three pieces make up the pathway. If Antonio Tsai workshops were to cut each individual stone by itself, this instrument would be 10 times the price. Another example would be up here with the palm tree, the two palm trees, the sun, and the sand. It's really pretty. It's done very nicely. And the two palm trees are each abalone. They're one piece of abalone. The sun looks like gold, mother of pearl, and then the sand looks like white mother of pearl. Now, if you compare that with like the inlay that I did on my Islander, that was actually 13 pieces. Yeah, 13 pieces, because the two palm trees were gold mother of pearl. The sand was white mother of pearl, and then each of the palm fronds was an individual piece. So that was 5 pieces for each tree. So that was 10 pieces for the palm fronds. If you remember, those of you that saw my Islander tortoise inlay, that was 39 pieces to make that tortoise. Now, I could have made the leatherback style tortoise like Kanalea and Kalena and others do, that you can make out of one piece, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted what was on the Islander to be really special, and doing that though took a lot of time and a lot of effort, and so when you can do something that's very artistic like this and save time, and then that means also pass that savings on to the people that are purchasing this work of art, I think that's really neat. All the little critical things where you really want an extra piece, they did. The eyes are beautifully done. The ears are separate pieces, the inside of the ears. And the other thing, as I mentioned, I've tried to do this video so many times, maybe I didn't mention it, so I'll mention it again. They really work with the individual when they're purchasing something. On eBay, they'll mention that if you buy more than one, you get a wholesale price, and they'll combine shipping. I wanted these 2 exact instruments. And they had other fox ukuleles, they had other spider ukuleles, but I wanted these 2 exact instruments. And they worked with me on that. What I did was they told me the price for these, and I thought that was great. And then what they did was they had me bid on a totally different pair of instruments, because in terms of the eBay settings, that was 2 instruments. I bid on that, and then in the description I said, these are the 2 that I want, and this is the price we agreed on. And that's what they did, and they sent them to me. They even sent the extra nut for this one that was mentioned back when I was originally talking about when I was thinking of just getting one. In terms of sound, they have a really pretty sound. They're not the most resonant instruments, yet they are very articulate, and they do have nice sustain. They're actually really nice instruments for putting pickups in. The challenge, though, is that you can't put an undersaddle pickup in either of these, because the bridges are so short this way off the soundboard that the bridge is not tall enough to route extra space to make up for the undersaddle pickup. And the bridge is also not tall enough to just use the existing slot. There wouldn't be any room for the saddle to sit properly. So you need to use a transducer style pickup, which once the instrument's already built, it's a little more challenging to install a transducer style pickup. You could use a sound hole style pickup or one of those soundboard style pickups if you want to use a pickup. But oftentimes when custom builders will build, they'll, if they know someone is going to be building an instrument for a person that's going to be primarily using a pickup, there are custom builders that will build the bracing a little more stout, because if an instrument's too resonant with a pickup, it can turn into a muddy sound or feedback issues. And so Like for instance, Jay Lichty talks about this, how if he knows someone's going to perform primarily, he'll leave his braces a little stiffer. And if he knows someone's primarily playing acoustically, then he'll shave his braces down much thinner so that he will tailor his instrument just to, a performer versus, a plugged in performer versus an acoustic performer. So they have a nice sound. They're not the loudest instruments I have. Compared with my Koloa or my customized Islander, they don't sound as full and resonant, yet that doesn't mean they don't sound nice. And I like to describe it like this. If you want to look at dynamic range of the sound, if the scale was 1 to 10, my Koloa would sound really nice, volumes, say, 10 down to about 3.5, and if I really work at it on some songs, maybe down to volume 3. But if I go any lower, the Koloa is such a resonant instrument, I almost play so soft it doesn't even sound like I'm playing, or the notes don't sound good or anything. This instrument will sound really nice playing that volume 1 up to about volume 6.5, and if I really want to push it, I might get volume 7 out of it. But if I need an instrument that's going to make a loud full volume, I'm better off playing the Koloa or playing like my Islander. But if I'm practicing at night and I don't want to disturb people and I want to play something that sounds really nice, well, this instrument's great for that. Anyway, I will play my generic pick, I'll play my generic strum, and I'll play Sonoe. There's going to be a playing section. My wife and I will be playing a couple pieces, and so I'll just limit this part to those pieces. That's what happens when you're playing at almost 12 at night. See, they sustain for quite a while. They have a really pretty sound. The pineapple, like any other pineapple, has a little warmer sound to it. The flip side is that when you're playing up the fretboard, the double bout model has a little more fullness. When you start getting up here, like playing a song like, Canon, there's a little more fullness to the notes on this one than this one. But playing songs that really need that C, this C sounds nice. There's just a little more fullness when playing this one. And I don't know that the... Oh, that's E. Just a second. This is a right-handed instrument. I really don't know that the mic can pick it up. There's just a little more, as I said, a little more fullness that comes through in the songs when playing this. It's a little more warmth And so it's similar to any other brand when you're looking at the double bout versus a pineapple version. So that being said, I'm going to have a playing section now that will have my wife and I playing a couple pieces, and after that I'll have a conclusion.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you so much for watching to this point. These are our Antonio Tsai ukuleles. They took a lot of work. My personal Antonio Tsai ukuleles took a lot of work to get them to play well. The sound that they make, their playability and everything, now that they've been worked on, to me it was worth it. I really enjoyed the designs. And with Antonio Tsai workshops, they make a certain design for a certain amount of time, and that's it. Then they're done with it. And so, would I recommend these instruments? Actually, yeah, because what I would recommend doing is buying them based on the artistic design you like, and then if you know someone that works on instruments, great. If you work on them yourself, great. Other than that, I would contact, when you contact Antonio Tsai, I might mention, I'm going to send them the link to this video. And hopefully when they see this video, they can get people to shore up the setup a bit, tighten up the QC on that end, because that's really the only thing that was deficient on these. Yeah, would I like to see the soundboard a 1/10 of a millimeter thinner and have a little more resonance to it? That would be nice. You could actually make the whole thing thinner. But coming from Vietnam, they're erring on the side of making sure it's stable. They do sound nice. They have been stable in the 6 or 7 months I've owned them. And so, as I said, they're instruments that would be good with a pickup in them. I'm not going to put them in. I don't play with, the only instrument I have that has a pickup in is my little blue Borson. And I do that, I play that just for the fun of it. With the pickup occasionally, but they're fun instruments to play. They're beautiful instruments to look at. Mine did take work to play nicely. They're instruments that are worth putting the work into. Yeah, and these are like the Acacia models, or they're simpler models. They have some amazing looking quilted mahogany. So if you're interested, take a look. What I would recommend, though, is that go in on them with a friend, because it's a substantially better price if you get 2 of them and then you have them shipped. So anyway, thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see you in the next video.